Hey everybody, Darren Yankee here with Echo Y Farms. Hope you're having a great day today. So we always get asked what we're doing in the shop all winter long. We only got so much stuff to work on. But we're in here repairing things and getting stuff ready for the planting season. You know, we are coming up to February already, and planting is just around the corner, really. You think about it, a couple more months and we gotta be ready and back into the fields again. So this winter we've been working on a project that's just pretty well setting up a liquid tender trailer. And that liquid trailer will supply our corn planter along with our fertilizer applicator and weed sprayer. So we use for multiple different things, and we've been kind of getting by the last few years. And last year we bought a bigger planter, and the way we were doing it with two different tenders and everything else was just a lot of work, a lot of running around with two vehicles to get the product to the planter, and it took a lot of time. So we're going to set up really nice this year, and hopefully it'll work really well like we're hoping it will. But anyways, we'll take a little gander at that here and show you what we got going on with that. But after we get this tender trailer out, we'll probably start working on the corn planter and getting that all serviced and ready for the year. We have a whole bunch of different things we're doing to that this winter. Put new double disc openers on it. We're putting some precision planting furrow jets on the planter as well, along with different gauge wheel arms from Precision Planting. I'm pretty excited about those. Really get our gauge wheel arms nice and tight. Right now they're pretty sloppy, so that should help out quite a bit, keeping our gauge wheels a little cleaner. So, but anyways, I'll probably do a video when we get that in the shop and show you guys what we got going on there. But we'll turn around here and look at our tender trailer and kind of explain what we got going on and what we did and why we did it. So we bought this 25-foot gooseneck trailer last summer, and we turned around and found a 1,500-gallon stainless steel tank to put in the middle of it there. So we had that on there last summer as well after planting season. We had that 1,500-gallon tank mounted on there with a pump, and we're pretty well just tendering our fertilizer applicator at the time with it. So that worked out really well, and so we wanted to make it and get it ready for planting season. So we have two different products that we are putting on with the corn planter, two different fertilizer products and two different locations. So we need two different setups on here for two different fertilizers. But I guess we'll start at the front of the trailer here. We're going to pull this trailer with our semi-tractor. So we have kingpin style hitch on here to pull with the semi-tractor, and should make it pretty nice. We can haul a lot more weight with the semi over a pickup. So on the front here, we added on two 335-gallon tanks. So these tanks will be used for our in-furrow fertilizer. And we have them plumbed up so we can put two different mixes, one in each tank. Because we are soil sampling according to about 30-acre grids, how it works out with planting and things like that. So we can adjust our nutrients every 30 to 40 acres pretty easily. So I could come fill up with one product and go plant 30 acres and then come up and fill up with the other product and plant another 30 acres, or however it works out. It could be 20 acres, it could be 40 acres. We are applying about 6 gallons an acre of in-furrow fertilizer, and they're going to be going through furrow jets this year. If you're not familiar with furrow jets on the corn planter, it's our in-furrow applicator. So a third of the product's going to go on top of the seed, and a third will be to the left of the seed in the seed trench sidewall, and then the other will be on the right side of the seed. So you have the left side of the seed on the seed, and then the right side of the seed in the sidewall of the seed trench. So it'll be split up really nice. And we have been doing soil samples and getting the Rex just right for every acre that we're planting, because we're applying a whole bunch of different micronutrients in furrow, and I think there's about 5 different ones that we're applying in furrow. So some of our acres maybe not see any, you don't see any copper or zinc in furrow, and then the next one might see zinc. It all varies on what the soil tests do. And some of them might need more product than another acre. So we're trying to do the best job we possibly can and get the right nutrients on the right acre. That's all saving us money at the end of the day. We're not over applying, we're not under applying. We're getting the right amount on the right acre. So if you look here, we have our fill for our in-furrow fertilizer. And this over here is our fill for our 2x2 fertilizer. That's the fertilizer that goes beside the seed, 2 inches off to the side of the seed. So we don't want to get the product going in here mixed up with the product going into there, because that could be a bad day all at once. Because this product in here could burn your seed, and if you blend the two together, you can make some pretty nasty gunk as well. So we don't want to start plugging up the planter and things like that, because remember, during the planting time of year, we're really busy, and it is, pretty valuable to not have filters and screens plugged up because you mix two different fertilizers together that don't go together. So how we get by with that is we have an 1.5 inch quick coupler underneath here, 1.5 inches. And then on the 2x2, we have a 2 inch quick coupler, 2 inch. That way we don't get them mixed up. So in our shed that we have our fertilizers in, we have a hose that's just meant for the in-furrow fertilizer, and that has an 1.5 inch coupler on it. And then we have a hose that's just meant for our side-by-side fertilizer, and that has a 2 inch hose on it. And instead of 1.5 inches, like the in-furrow has 1.5 inches on it. So that's how we do not mix them up. But yeah, the fertilizer just goes right into here for the in-furrow, and it can go into either tank 1 or down there into tank 2, and you can turn the valves on accordingly. And then when you want to suck it out, you just turn the valves on, either one or both of them. You can fill both and empty both at the same time as well. The fertilizer comes out of that T there, goes down this black hose. The black shiny hose comes down here. It actually is supposed to be mounted in the back of this pump, like that. That pump was mounted down, but we used it the other day, so we had to unmount it. But anyways, it'll get mounted back down on here. And then leaving that, we have an 1.5 inch hose instead of a 2 inch hose. And then that just gets fed up around for storage. And this hose is just kind of neatly quick couplered onto a dead end here. You pull that off there, you have the hose in your hand, now you take it over and fill up the planter. So that's where our in-furrow fertilizer gets ran and goes. And then our 2x2 fertilizer, and this is a main pump and system on the trailer, is this big 1,500 gallon stainless steel tank. And this will get used for all of our fertilizing during the summer time, and also our chemical applicator will be hauling water and things like that in here. But we always have the option to fill up the front tank. So during the summertime, when we are spraying our fields with herbicides or fertilizing our fields with the Y drop machine and things like that, we'll probably have like plain water in one of them front tanks for like a rinse water, and the other one could be an extra storage for fertilizers or chemicals. So it kind of leaves us open to a lot of options there. We can haul a lot of products and a lot of different products on this trailer. So with our 2x2, it comes in the front here, and it goes down here to fill the tank. We open this valve up here, and it goes down into the floor. And that sump is underneath the tank, and it fills up from the bottom of the tank up into the tank then. And then to suck it out, you just open that valve up, comes down through here. This is 2 inch plumbing, goes into the pump, out the hose, down to the end, back around again. And the hose is over here for storage, just like the other fertilizer hose was. We do have this plumbed up so we can have air coming off the semi, because the semi has air on it for the airbags and air brakes and things like that. So we have it plumbed up so we can hook it up to the semi and blow out our lines on both pumps. So we can have our lines all emptied out while we go down the road and handling the lines. It's a lot easier to have the lines emptied. For our big 1,500 gallon tank here, we got an emergency shut off pull rope. So that rope goes down through the floor here. You pull on this, and there's a big valve down underneath that tank. So if there's a line that's leaking or something like that, and it's an emergency, we gotta shut that big valve off underneath this big tank instead of crawling down underneath the trailer on the ground and having issues finding the valve and everything. Is pulling that rope and that valve will shut off. We have a generator on the other side of the trailer, so we have 110 volt power right here as well. Wire up the generator and you got power. And that power will be used for vacuuming out the planters and things like that between different varieties of seed and whatever else you may need a power outlet for. Or if you're doing some repairs on the planter or anything else you need 110 volt for. So the big plywood box on the back here is for our seed. We're all bagged seed yet for our corn. We have a latch here in the back. Starts on the top. You just unhook it. Put it back up there. We got a divider in the middle here, but we should be able to hold 2 pallets of seed. We got some nice little lights up here as well in the corner. Both of the boxes have light in the corner. It lights up the whole box. So that'll be nice, having the seed on the back. Like I say, everything will be on one trailer. Seed, fertilizers, and everything. So on this side then we have our generator. Pretty old unit, but it does the job and works just fine. We got to bolt it down on the trailer. Fire that up, and like I say, the power's on the other side. We have a little storage compartment over here to hold the vacuum cleaner and some jugs or pails or a little extra gasoline, whatever we need to hold. But we do have a whole bunch of these little lights mounted on here. All they are is really LED license plate lights. We have like 14 of them mounted on the trailer. And just enough light so you can see real well, but it ain't too bright that it blinds you. So that's kind of important to me, that we're not too bright to blind everybody. And over here we got some other projects going on actually, if we want to step away from the trailer for a minute, but we have some inductors and things like that. This is going in our storage facility here, and we're going to have 2 inductors for each of the different fertilizers. So the 2x2 fertilizer that going on the planter will have 2 inductors, and the infertile fertilizer will have 2 inductors in line as well. So we can get a lot done, and we got all of our micronutrients in 250 gallon totes, and they'll be all plumbed up so we can just put the hose in these inductors and put so many gallons in. So yeah, that's kind of what we got going on right now in the shop here. And thanks for following along and doing the walk around on the trailer with me. And say it's going to really save us a lot of time overtaking a couple different vehicles through the field every time we need to refill the planter. So this will make it really nice and convenient. And we're going to get a toolbox mounted on that planter trailer as well there. We're going to have a whole bunch of tools in there and anything else we may need, extra parts and things like that, because for most of the planting season, there will be one person here by the tender trailer pretty well making sure that's ready to go and getting it filled up, and the other one will be out planting. So, you know, we got a 24-row corn planter, and it's important that we got to keep that moving. This year we got about 2,500 acres we got to plant with a 24-row planter, and you know, it doesn't seem like it takes that long with a big planter like that, but you know, you're stopping and filling up with fertilizers and, you know, bagged seed and things like that, so it all takes extra time. If you didn't have fertilizer going on, it wouldn't take near the time to plant our corn, but we're doing it that way because we're trying to get the nutrients right where you need them, and where that is next to the seed or by the seed in the furrow. So, you know, trying to do a great job with our fertility plan and putting that fertilizer right where you need it so we get better utilization out of it and using really good products. We are using some very clean fertilizer products as well, and they do a great job on making some nice yielding corn crops for us. So, well, anyways, you guys have a great day. Thanks for following along.